FGN Bonds for November 2024 is out, and if you have been following us, you will know that we've been talking about how you can invest in FGN Bonds. FGN Bonds simply means government is borrowing money from you, and in return they give you interest quarterly. And the minimum you can do is for 2 years, 2 to 3 year tenure, and it comes out every first week of the month. So quickly, let's look at it. Just like you saw in the caption, that how you can earn passive income for 12 solid months. So I'm going to break it down in this video. So instead of leaving your money in the bank and leaving it to depreciate, why can't you just put it in FGN Bonds? Because at times you look at some people's minimum balance and you wonder, why are you leaving your money in the bank? And they have, just because they don't know about investment like this, and they don't know that there is an alternative to you just leaving your money idle in the bank or looking for an investment where you will just be scammed. The second rule of investment says preservation of your capital. Any investment that you are going to do, make sure that your capital is preserved. When it comes to FGN Bonds, you are sure of the preservation of your capital. So we are going to look at it. How can we deploy FGN Bonds in order to earn passively for the next 36 months, not just 12 months, at least for the next 36 months. So let's look at it. For the 2-year bond, the interest rate is 17.44% for the 2-year tenor, while for the 3-year tenor is 18.44%. So if you have an idle fund that you're not going to use for the next 2 or 3 years, you can key into this. You can key into it, or you can even use it as a form of saving. You can do it monthly. Put your money there, and eventually wealth is built over time. I hope you understand. So let's now go into it. And you may ask, okay, what platform can I use? How can I invest in FGN Bonds? Before I go into it, you can use Stanbic IBTC. They are the biggest when it comes to asset management company. They are the biggest in Nigeria, Stanbic IBTC. Then followed by FGN Quest. Then we have the like of Avre Invest, United Capital, Guaranteed Trust Fund, many like that. I will even make a comprehensive video on the top 20 in Nigeria as of 2023. So you can watch out for it so that you know the one exactly to go for. But I usually recommend these first 3, which is Stanbic IBTC, FGN Quest, and Avre Invest. Just Google it and it will bring it out. FGN Bonds, Stanbic IBTC. It will take you straight to that link. So let's quickly go into it. So let's say for this November now, you now want to go for the 3-year tenor. You decided to put in 1 million naira, and at 18.44%. So which means, and one thing about FGN Bonds is that the day that you are going to receive your interest is certain, is stated there. So for instance, November now, you are going to receive your interest on February 13, May 13, August 13, and November 13 is going to hit your account. Even though at times they default for maybe 1 or 2 days, but that does not mean you are certain of it coming in. So the days is not the issue. And at times, most times, it's usually certain that on that very particular date, it's going to hit your account. So it's something that you can bank on. So let's say you now invested 1 million naira for November, which means the total, the interest you are going to be having annually is 184,400. It's going to be divided into 4 because FGN Bonds, you receive interest 4 times a year, quarterly, every 3 months. So the first one is just like I've explained, it's going to come in like this. Now, when it comes to December, do the same. Put in 1 million naira. Let's see, assume, it's now an assumption that the interest rate will still be 18.44% because it has been like that. It's more or less like a cycle. From January till now, it has been around 17-18%. It has not gone lower. It has been in that range. So let's just assume that it's still going to remain in this range. So let's say you invest another 1 million naira, and you can see the dates again. Even though these dates will now differ because it will be on the settlement date, and we call it T+3. So depending on the date is, but it's going to be constant till the end of the 4th quarter, till the end. So it's going to be static. The date is going to be static. Let's say for December now, it could be, let's say, on the settlement date is now December 15. So which means it will be March 15 instead of March 13. In this case, the settlement date is November 13. That's why the coupon rate also falls on December 13. So if the settlement date for this one now is, if the settlement date now is on the 15th, so it will now be March 15, June 15, September 15, then December 15. So you are going to receive it like that still your 46,000. You may look at this 46,100, but just like I said, I do money instead of leaving your money in the bank. Just imagine now, if January comes again, you do the same thing. January comes the same, you do the same thing. So which means for the 12 months, you already have passive income in form of interest. So at the end of it, when you calculate the total, it will now be 553,200. 553,200, and you are going to receive it for 36 months. It is not just this 12 months, because you are going to receive for year 2, you are going to receive it for year 3. Now come here. Now 553,200 multiplied by 3, that gives us 1.6 million, 1.65 million. Imagine when you leave your money in the bank, what will happen to it? Maybe they will give you at best maybe 4.5% interest rates. That's if they will still deduct their charges. But in this case, even one thing about FGN Bonds is it is tax free. So you can see that this makes sense. This makes sense. And what the rich do is because they want the preservation of their capital. They would rather put in their 10 million. They would rather put in their 20 million because they know that this money is passive for them. They have the active income. And even this money, by the time they are receiving it, what they are just doing is they are reinvesting it into other investment baskets. For instance, they can decide that, okay, this money I'll be using it to buy shares. So by the time they retire, they already have enough to cater for their expenses. That's the way the rich think. It is not just in terms of the interest rate, but that the income is passive, which means your money working for you. That is the goal behind it. But the masses, they just want something that, I want 50% returns. Most of those 50% returns, they are scams. So it's better you go for something safe. It's better you go for something, at least start from something safe, then you can move up gradually. I hope I've been able to enlighten us today. So the earlier you start, the better. If you know that you have idle fund or you want to discipline yourself to save regularly, then go for FGN Bonds. If you have any thoughts, comments, or opinion, or you even have questions, kindly drop it in the comment section below. I will attend to it there. If you are yet to subscribe to this channel, kindly do by clicking on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we release a new video. So we meet in our next video. Stay blessed.